Hi everyone and welcome back. It's been a little while since I've made a video, so I thought I'd just give you guys a quick update on where I've been, what's been happening. So you'll see bike's looking a little bit different to what it did before, but there's a little backstory there, and I'll go into a little more about where I've been in the last couple of months. So when I say I've been busy with other projects, this is one of them. 2004 or 6, I can never remember. Holden Rodeo V6 4-wheel drive automatic. Yeah, it wasn't something I wanted to take on initially, but sometimes when things present themselves, you just have to take advantage of situation presented. So here it is, and funny thing is, the more I drive it, the more I like it. So uses a little bit more petrol than I would like, but I'm warming to it. I've got a few things that I might want to do to it to improve that, but yeah, I've just been doing some tidying up, just general maintenance. It wasn't looked after as much as probably I would have looked after it. But so there's also been my old favourite project, favourite nemesis, all rolled together. You guys will remember this if you watch my other videos. There was some damage down there that did a whole pile of fixing on, and the engine died, so I've got a video on that coming apart, but that's all up and running now, and it runs better than it's ever run. So I'll put that down to the fact that I've put a new timing chain in, so all the slack's gone out of it. It's all back in spec now, and it's going better than ever. So it's taken a long time to get there, but that'll be up for sale soon. So next thing on the slab, it's a 2002 Ford Laser 1.6 litre automatic. This actually goes quite well. The only problem this had, well, I'll say had because I consider it as past tense now, is the CV joints were a bit rattly, but I'm in the process of replacing those. There's the old one from the passenger side, there's the new driver side ready to go in, so that's a work in progress, but it won't be long before that'll be finished, and then that'll be this little project done, and hopefully that'll be a good reliable little car. I've been driving it to work just to iron the bugs out, and yeah, so hopefully that'll be finished soon. Right, another thing that's come my way is this bike lift. I'm making space for this in the workshop, and the 185 will go up on here, so that's something that I've also been cleaning up to get ready to put this in the workshop. So back to the bike. So you'll notice I've got the generator is hanging off and the rotor is off, and when it was running I could hear a bit of a clanky rattly sound. It wasn't that loud, but it didn't sound right, and I know it's inside this engine and pretty much everything's brand new, but it's got new pistons, new rings, the whole bottom end is pretty much everything's new down there. So I thought I'd just look into it and I'll show you what I found. Right, this is the bolt. This bent, mangled bolt is what held this in. So trying to get that off, I think I was using this to try and do that, and I was whacking it with a hammer. It eventually worked, but it mangled the bolt. It didn't concern me at the time. I actually thought I'd be able to buy another one from where I get all my other bits and pieces from, but it turns out that they are another sort of unobtainium thing along with other bits and pieces. So this is the bolt that I used. You'll see the heads aren't the same. This one's got a lot more thickness to it. So as a result, I didn't realise, here's the side cover, it was actually rubbing in there. So there was filings and stuff in the bottom here. So this bolt snapped. So that's what's left of it. So that's it compared to the old one. So a little bit longer, but yeah. So anyway, I've got another one here that should do the trick. The head's pretty much the same. It's almost identical. So I'll give that a clean up and that can go back on, and hopefully that'll fix that problem. I want to get this back on and just see if it's got any run out in it. So once it's back on, I'll get my dial gauge on here and just see if it's got any, run out like this. And if that's the case, then that would have snapped that. If not, well, I've got a bit of investigating to do, put it that way. Right, so I've got this fitted back on. Got my alternative bolt in there. This is all bolted in tight. So I'll just run it with the drill and show you the run out. So I've got it on the main body part of it, not on the the contact surface for the brushes. So we'll just see what the body's like. I've got the plugs out just so it's nice and easy to wind over. So here we go. There's a bit of deflection there. So whether that's actually affecting the bolt or if it's just the whole thing is moving together. I mean, my preference is that it have no run out. Okay, so I just got curious. I wanted to see how the actual shaft was running. There's that off. So whether that's out of shape or not, hard to say, or whether we've got a little bit of run out on the shaft. So we do have some. If the whole thing is moving as a unit in the same run out, doesn't matter so much because the brushes here are spring loaded, so they'll just follow the contour. As long as the bolt coming through here is moving the same as everything else, then it's not going to snap it off. So I'm going to leave it and we'll run it. I'll keep an eye on it, as I will be with a lot of other things, with this being all the new stuff in here. It'll take a while to get some confidence that everything's working properly, and we'll just go with it. So I'll put it back together and we'll move on. Right, so while the plugs are out, I'll take the opportunity to put the new set in that arrived. Oop, bit of glare. That's what they are. So nice and new. So we'll check the gap on those and we'll pop them in. So once again, referencing to my favourite book, and spec says spark plug NGK B7HS NGK 7BHS. So you wouldn't believe it, I can't find the spark plug gap spec anywhere in the workshop manual. I still can't get my head around that. That's kind of basic information. So anyway, the points gap is 12 to 16 thou. So I'm going to go with the rule of thumb of add 10 thou to it. So we're looking at 24 to 26. Plugs open up as they wear. So I'm going to go with 24 and that'll do it. So that's straight out of the packet. It's not quite as tight as I'd like. I'll set those and I'll pop them in. So on the subject of unobtainium, I've managed to get this. So this is the, I'll get the right word for it in a minute, but it goes on the side of the swing arm and the chain runs over it. So there's the part number. I put it up on the Facebook page for 185s, 125s, 185s, and pretty much like, help, has anyone got one of these? Someone came back and said, there's one on eBay. And that's just the craziest thing, because I've been searching, including eBay, and just nothing. You can't find it when you go to places like Partzilla. It's like, yep, it lists them, but not available. And just out of the blue, someone says, oh, there's one on eBay. So I went down to look, and guess what? There it was. And so I just jumped on it, and now it's here. So just for reference, it is this part here, and it lists it as a chain buffer, chain defense buffer. So, yep, finally got one of those. So the next part of the bike build is going to be putting the front suspension together, and you can see here I've been doing a bit of polishing. This was the one, the unpolished one, and this was actually the one that I had already polished. You can see this one's much better, and it won't be long, this one will be the same. So in this book, it's showing the exploded view of the front forks, and that's what it quotes. Right, so in the process of getting things ready, I've got the headlight fork ear assembly here. The indicators still need a bit of a clean, but I've just put it together just to see how it looks. When I got this, these were more of a down here sort of angle. So I think it was trying to give it some kind of a cafe racer look. So I want this to be more original looking. So I've managed to bend them back. They're pretty solid, I tell you. In here, you can see the thickness of that bracket inside. It's not just this, it's all of this holding it there. So that took some bending, but they're looking pretty straight now. That's as good as they get. I've also got some new screws here, countersunk ones for holding the actual headlight in, and ended up getting a new surround for it. Here's the old one. You can see it's got a bit of damage there because it's this, yeah, and on that side, because it's something that you kind of see, it's right in front of you, it was worth it. So there's some rust inside, so it was pretty sad, but this one's nice and new, so it just lifts the appearance of the whole thing. It's not actually a part number, but still like a little cool bit of document that comes with it. It's very sort of nostalgic looking, but yeah, so that's something that's pretty much just ready to put on. Another thing that's just recently arrived, I bought a set of brand new tyres. They are Pirellis 2.75 by 18. Nice tread pattern there. And the rear matches it, 3 by 18. So between the new rims and spokes, these tyres, it's going to look pretty good. Okay, so those with a keen eye would have already noticed my new set of handlebars have arrived. Apparently these are supposed to be OEM, but not sure about that. They're probably a repop. I've looked at pictures online and these seem to be correct, so we'll go with it. So I've got a set of period correct grips in good condition, so they're going on. You would have also noticed the bike is now sitting on the bike lift, so that's making life a little easier because I can move it around. It's on wheels, up and down, all the usual things that I haven't been accustomed to, and life's a bit easier now. So one other component I've managed to reassemble and get back on the bike is the rear guard and brake light assembly. I did say in a previous video I wasn't going to paint that, but it looked like crap, so there you go. So even though it's painted instead of chrome, it's clean and tidy. So, you know, when it comes to this bike, clean and tidy is what I'm aiming for. So while I've got easy access to this steering head area, I'm going to pop this on. 2 little holes there. I've got the 2 little rivets that go in there, but I don't think they're actually going to hold because I've had this on before and it fell off. So I might just glue the back of that and put a little bit of super glue on there. It's not going to come off again. That'll just make sure of it. Right tool for the job. Right, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of disassembling again just to get some new parts put in, namely this chain defender, chain guard. So I'm going to have to just tap out that swing arm bolt, no big deal, and install this, and we're back on track. And we're on the other side of the bike now, and although I don't like to admit it, I forgot to put a little part on. It's this bracket here. It roughly goes there, and in that little fork is where this connects, and that's the switch for the rear brake light. I've actually got a brand new spring for that too, because this one's looking a little dodgy. So I'll install this now so I don't forget it next time. Click. So there we have it, installed. Right, let's see about getting this brake light switch set up and connected. I'd say we just about got that spot on. So I'm going to wrap it up here. I did say on the last video that I was going to see if I could get that front end together. Unfortunately, I didn't get there this time round. I did get a whole pile of bits and pieces fitted and tidied up. So at least what's there is a lot more complete than it was before, and that pretty much clears the path to get onto that front. There's a few bits and pieces I need to clean up, so I've just wanted to get these other bits done, and then I can dedicate my time to getting that front sorted out properly, polished up, cleaned and assembled and on the bike. So thanks again for watching, and if you want to know how the bike got to this point, then check out my previous videos, and leave a comment if you like, and subscribe if you'd like to see a bit more. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all later. Right, so before we go, It's been a while, so let's see if we can get some noise out of it. Time to get some fresh air.